Hi everyone, and welcome to the overview of communications, which is CCM 140, your first general education course that we're going to have together. And in this class, we're really going to focus on the communication skills necessary for your profession as a surge tech. And so we're going to cover accepted communication conventions as well as looking at the context, the situation, how our nonverbal cues influence our communication, and then various audience factors such as diversity and different roles that we might encounter in the healthcare setting. So on our first day of class, again, we're going to be on campus. If you haven't signed up, then what you are looking at here is the landing page for your course. And this is the announcement page. And so if you look at this announcement here, it has the link to where you can click right here to go to sign up for your first day on class. On campus. Just a reminder, make sure that you remove all of your jewelry. Ladies and gentlemen that have long hair, please make sure you put it up so it's off your shoulders. Plan to arrive a little bit early to campus wearing your mask. A cloth one is fine. And make sure you hit the hand sanitizer station as you enter the building. Once you do that, you're going to approach the front desk and have your temperature taken, and they're going to ask you a few questions regarding, have you been exposed to COVID, are you having any specific symptoms, those kinds of things. And if they determine that you're eligible to remain on campus, then we'll get you a wristband, and you'll put that on your wrist where it is visible, and then they'll get you back to the classroom. Our first Zoom meeting will be on the day after that, which is Thursday, May 27th at 8 a.m. Please make sure your camera is working and your microphone is working. You will find the link in the course content area of this course, and we're going to go through some different components of Blackboard to help you get a little bit more familiar with that. And that's basically about it. That's what this little tutorial is for. I'm going to be uploading this review for you to refer back to, but it is also really important that you just dig into this Blackboard course and familiarize yourself with it. And as Miss B talked about in orientation, I think it is also a good idea to make sure that your print out your lesson plan and use that as a guide or as a checklist as you go through the class. All right. There's a lot of reading. This class is 8 days long. And so as a result, this means that there's going to be a lot of reading in a short amount of time. So please make sure that you keep up with all of your assignments and that you let me know if you have any questions. This announcements page is the best place to look every single day when you are in class. Check out the announcements page because this is the easiest place for me to go ahead and communicate with all of you without having to put forth too much effort. If there's changes to assignments or to the class or to anything like that, or if I've updated grades or whatever the case may be, all I have to do is just post the announcement here and you're good to go. So always check your announcements. Now, we're going to navigate away from the announcements page and look at some of the tabs that are over here on the left-hand side. Now, before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and put it in student preview so that we can look at what you will be seeing. So when you get to the announcements page, this is what it's going to look like. And these are the items that you have on the left-hand side of your screen. So we just covered announcements. The next thing down is course syllabus. So if you click on course syllabus, it's going to give you the lesson plan, and it's also going to give you the course syllabus. Now the course syllabus does show the breakdown of the each category where your grades will be, how much of a percentage of a grade will be in each category. Other than that, it just kind of gives a can-souped overview of the class. The lesson plan is the thing that's really going to tell you the details and get down to the nitty-gritty of everything that we are going to be doing and covering and how we're going to be doing it. So the lesson plan is the thing that you want to print out, keep with you, familiarize yourself with, and look at often. Moving along to course content. This is kind of the meat and potatoes of the course. As Marlene mentioned in the orientation, this is where most of your stuff is going to be housed. So at the very top, you will see the Zoom link. And if you click on this image, that is going to open up the class Zoom for you. Make sure that you adjust the settings on your Zoom so that your first, full, and last name is visible, as well as your camera is working and your microphone is working. If we scroll down from there, you are going to see that the rest of this looks very familiar to, very similar to the lesson plan. Well, this first little part is the breakdown of the formative and summative evaluations, aka assessments, assignments, that will be required for the course. There really isn't any tests or quizzes. However, there is a study skills workshop, and that will be an ed puzzle. And that's worth 100 points, which is 10% of your grade. Outside assignments consist of 2 threaded discussion posts, each at 100 points each, and an introduction assignment using something called Flipgrid. Your professional performance standards, as discussed in orientation, are worth 15% of your grade, or 150 points, and we have 2 speeches. So we will be presenting twice in class. They are 45% of your grade. This is a communications class, so you can be expected to communicate with each other and during class as indicated. Now, if we scroll down a little bit more, you'll see that the rest of the content area is divvied up by day. So you'll see days 1 through 8. That is our entire course. This is a very fast and furious course. And day 1, as I discussed, we're going to be on campus. So whatever your 2-hour snippet is that you signed up for, you're going to come to campus. After you get all checked in, we're going to go over some policies, and you'll sign some signature pages for those policies that will be kept in your file. We'll do a team building activity. You'll also get a tour of the campus, get your books, try on your scrubs, get your backpacks, and then also take a picture for your badge. Assignments that are due prior to midnight, you need to complete the ed puzzle that is the study skills workshop. So class is 4 hours worth of time on day 1, and you're only going to be on campus for 2 hours. So the other 2 hours we're going to make up by doing the study skills workshop. So at some time before midnight on Wednesday, you'll need to complete that. On day 2, we will meet for Zoom at 8 a.m. and this will be consistent throughout this course. So look at this, see what we're doing, what you need to read, what your homework is, and then I'm just going to choose day 1 and click on the title of the week, and that's going to bring you to the details of the content for that day. So up here at the top is a course policies read and respond. So if you click on that, and you need to do this as soon as possible, you are going to read the course policies. All right, they're there for you, and then you're going to click on create journal entry. You're going to type your name here where it says title, and then you're going to enter the message that says, I have read the course policies and I understand them, or something like that, with your name. All right, so that's the first thing that you need to do. Let me see if I can navigate back to, I guess I gotta go this way, back to course content and back to day 1 where we were. So that's where we were at the course policies. So I have tried to color code everything that requires an action from you in either purple or red. So the next thing that you need to do is create your ed puzzle account. The way that you do that is you're going to click where it says click here. And this is going to take you to the sign-in page. You're going to click sign up. You're going to click I am a student. And then you can either sign in with Google or you can click sign up with Edpuzzle. To do that, you have to have the code, which I haven't posted yet, but I will. So you'll go ahead and create your Edpuzzle account. That's going to allow you to access the Study Skills Workshop. Okay, so I'm going to go back to where we started. And then this is a little tutorial about how to create an Edpuzzle account. And then this is just a reminder that the professional performance standards are 15% of your grade. And here's what the classroom PPS doc looks like. You can keep it for your records if you want to refer to it. It is here for you. You don't have to do anything with this assignment. It is actually something that I will complete in the Blackboard during the course. But it isn't anything that you have to do. All right, so we're going to go back to course content, and then we can look at day 2. Now, so day 2 says that you need to read chapters 1 and 2 in your communications book, and you also have to post your Flipgrid introduction, and you have to sign up for your speech topics. All right, to sign up for the speech topic, you're going to click here. And then you have to just select it again. That is going to take you to a Google document that I created with a blank table. It's also going to have some instructions for you regarding signing up for your topics. So just a second here while this loads. So this gives you some verbiage about what a informative speech is. There will be 2 speeches that you're going to be giving in this class. One is an informative speech and the other is a persuasive speech. So an informative speech is going to be one that informs someone about something. You're teaching them about something or describing something to them so that they can learn something new. And interesting, hopefully. And then the second one is a persuasive speech where you're going to try to appeal to others, not necessarily to change their minds, but get them to kind of maybe lean in, right, towards your opinion, right? Persuasive speeches can be sensitive topics, right? Euthanasia, the death penalty, vaccinations for children. They can be ethical undertones to those. So you're going to pick 2 topics, one that's informative and one that's persuasive. Please do not double a topic that has already been picked. So the sooner you sign up, the better chance there is of you getting to do what you want to do. So make sure you don't duplicate. So you're going to type your name in here, right? My name. I can't type my name. And then you're going to type in your informative speech and your persuasive speech. And if I have any comments, I'm going to place them in this instructor comments box. So make sure you check back in a day or so after this is due to see if I put any comments in here, because you might need to change your topic or tweak it a little bit. All right, so that's how you sign up for your speech topic. Now I'm going to go into the content. And again, here's a reminder that you need to sign up today. It is in red, so that means it's something you have to do. Again, here's the link. If you click, it will take you to that same document where we just were. The other thing that you need to do is your Flipgrid assignment. So what you're going to do is you're going to follow this link right here. You're going to click on Flipgrid. I'm going to click on it again. And when you join with Google, you're going to have to use your PMI email address. So this is going to be the one that is at my.pmi.edu. And once you get in there, it's going to tell you what you need to do. You're basically going to be recording an introduction about yourself. And you're going to share why you want to be a surge tech, identify a potential challenge that you see associated with going back to school, and then suggest an action plan. Like, what might a potential solution plan ABC be? All right, so that will be a fun little interactive activity, and everybody will get to see every classmate's posting, video posting. And what you'll want to do coming up and the next day or so will be to respond with a video response to 2 of your peers. All right, but for day 2, you simply have to post your initial video. Now on day 3, again, Zoom is going to be from 8 to noon. We're covering a slew of chapters so that we can gain an understanding of what we need to do to kind of tie up the loose ends for our presentations that'll be coming down the line. Okay, so we'll cover chapters 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So make sure that you have an understanding of those, and then your Flipgrid responses will be due, and you'll have a threaded discussion that will also be due. So let's see what that looks like. We're going to click into day 3. At the very top here, is an example of an exemplary threaded discussion. What does exemplary mean? That means it was the bomb beezy, right? So if you click there, it's going to take you to a specific one, but there's a whole bunch of different examples of what would get you an A grade on a threaded discussion post. Okay, so that is in the resources section. But let's go back to the content again. Kind of a lot of navigating here. So here's your threaded discussion. Again, if it's in purple or red, it means you need to do something with it. So threaded discussion, here's the thing. By this day, you need to post your initial response. You need to make sure that the initial response is posted by 8 o'clock on day 3. And the way that you're going to do that is you're going to click on the title, and in the middle here, it says create thread. Now, before I do that, there's one other thing I want to show you, and it's this little gray box down here that says grading information. Okay, so we're going to look at these 2 components, but first let me draw your attention to the writing in purple. It says for this threaded discussion, please complete and include the following in your response. So here's what you're going to talk about. You're going to identify 3 people who have been or are particularly important to you in your life. You're going to identify one self-perception you have because of each of those people. And then talk a little bit about like who you would be if you never knew these people. How would you be different? How would your self-image be changed? And lastly, how is this going to affect your role in the operating room? Now, make sure that you use research to back up some of the stuff that you're saying, all right? And your textbook is a good resource for that. Let's look at the grading information. So if you click on that and you go over here to this little box and you click on that, that is going to take you to the rubric. All right. If you meet the criteria under novice, that is going to give you a 0 on this assignment. If you meet the criteria under competent, that's going to give you a 50% on this assignment. And if you meet the proficient criteria, that is going to give you 100% on this assignment. So to get a perfect grade on the assignment, what you would need to do is make sure that your initial post is 3 paragraphs of 5 sentences in each paragraph, that all peer responses are a minimum of 1 paragraph with 5 sentences, and that all posts demonstrated an advanced understanding of concepts, viewpoints, and initial posts were supported by research. Also, all posts need to be created on time. Each peer response needs to include a greeting and a salutation. So, hi, Sally, blah, 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 thank you, Joe. Okay, APA format needs to be correctly applied. We will be going over that in class. Correct spelling and grammar will be a component as well. And then make sure you're not using any more than one direct quote, which means you're directly copying but giving credit to some sort of resource. And then the last component there as far as participation, that you actually participated in all 3 posts. Okay, you did your initial post and you responded to 2 peers. All right, we're going to go back. Oh, okay. No, it's not being happy now. Okay. Love technology. Let me see if I can navigate back to this class here. Hold on one second. Okay, here it is. I have a million classes. Okay, so we are back to where we left off. Back into day 3, back into threaded discussion. Here we want to click this when we're ready to post a thread. Now you're not going to be able to see anybody else's thread until you create your own. And what I suggest is you use some sort of separate document to write out your post discussion, your threaded discussion, and then copy and paste it into the post, because sometimes technology happens and it'll time out and you'll lose whatever you're typing into the box. So when you're ready, click Create Thread. You're going to title your threaded discussion, and then you will put your content in this big box, and when you're done you will hit submit. Please do not just attach the document. Do not do that. Place the content directly into this box, please. Okay, so that is the threaded discussion. Going back to day 3 one more time. It's a reminder that the second part of the Flipgrid assignment is due. So by 8 o'clock on 6/1, you need to respond to 2 classmates' Flipgrids. And here's the link again just in case. And then there's a second part to this. You're also going to create a Microsoft Word document with 5 things that you learned about 5 different classmates. 5 things about 5 different classmates. So that means classmate 1, Joe, I learned 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Classmate 2, Sally, I learned 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. For 5 classmates, 5 things you learned from each classmate. And then you're going to save that and upload it to Blackboard. Now, how do you do that? Well, you're going to click on the assignment title. If you want to look at the rubric, click here, and that is going to give you the rubric. Okay, so you can use that. When you get ready to post your or attach your assignment, you're just going to click on Browse Local Files, navigate to where you saved it on your computer, and go ahead and select it, and then hit Submit. All right, that would be what you would do to submit the assignment. Okay, so we're going to go now to day 4. Usually don't give this much detail when I go over a course intro, but this is our first class, so I'm trying to be a little bit more detailed so you'll have this resource for yourself. Day 4, make sure you read chapters 3 and 4. Join the Zoom at 0800. We're going to review 3 and 4, and you are going to begin your informative speeches. So your informative speech is due on day 4, which is 6/2/2021. Now, here's what you need to include in your informative speech, right? Make sure that it includes a good thesis statement, which basically encompasses what the topic is about. You want to make sure that you motivate the listeners. Perhaps you are talking about health and fitness and you've worked in health and fitness for 10 years. That is going to establish credibility. Just like when I go into a high school and I'm going to talk about being a surge tech, I build credibility by saying I have 23 years of experience in the field of surgical technology. Now they're going to listen, right? So build credibility, adapt it to your audience. Think about who you're talking to, make it organized, teach us something, and get us involved. And so there's a bunch of resources in here, and a lot of them come from your book. Utilize these. It is 22.5% of your grade, or 225 points. You are going to upload the PowerPoint here. And the way that you do that is the same way that we talked about for the Flipgrid assignment. You're going to click on the title. The rubric is here for you. You can look at that for the presentation. And again, the stuff is listed. And then to submit, just click Browse Local Files, navigate to where you saved it on your computer, and go ahead and click Submit. On day 5, we are going to go over chapters 5 and 6, so make sure you have read those, and you need to respond to your 2 peers for Threaded Discussion 1. All right, so that's all that's in there that you have to do. You would post in the same way that I discussed for your initial post, except for now you're going to read some peer responses or some peer initial posts, and then you're going to respond to those. For day 6, we're going to go over chapter 8, so make sure you read that. We're going to finish up the informative speeches, and we're going to jump right into persuasive speeches. So let's look and see what that entails. Plus, you have your initial response for your threaded discussion, and that's due. So here's the threaded discussion initial response that would be due on day 6. It gives you the same information. If you click in there, it's going to show you the topic and all the details, the rubric, everything just like we discussed, same as threaded discussion 1. Now for the persuasive speech, a good resource for you is chapter 16 in your textbook, and I've put some resources in here for you. But the goal is to change the audience. Maybe you feel passionately about how music can heal people. All right? And you're going to persuade us that music is the key to healing people. All right? So consider some personal characteristics, some emotional proofs, all right, and then some logical proofs. So you can read in your textbook about ethos, pathos, and logos. So we'll also be talking about it in class. But utilize these resources. Ensure that your presentation is about 3 to 5 slides, and practice your presentations, because we only have a finite amount of time to get through these, and there's 30 of us. So we need to keep our presentations to about 5 minutes, no more than 7 minutes. If you go over 7 minutes, you will not be receiving full credit. You need to hone it, practice it to get it into that 5 to 7 minute window. There should be no need for us to be having a 20-minute presentation, because at the point which it's 10 minutes and you're not done, I'm going to cut in and say, okay, that's all we have time for, and that will be that. So make sure that you practice your speech. I want to see you looking at the camera. I want to see you sitting up straight. It's difficult to see those nonverbal cues of the speaker during a Zoom, but the best we can, we want to kind of maintain that eye contact and, the smile on our face and those kinds of things. And then you would submit it the same way. You would click on the title, and then here's the rubric for you. It's the same as the other one. And then you would navigate down here, click Browse Local Files, navigate to where you have saved it on your computer, choose it, and then click Submit. Day 7. What does day 7 have in store for us? We're going to be talking about chapters 9 and 10, and we're also going to continue our persuasive speeches. there isn't any homework that is due, so I included a funny communications video that is taking its sweet time to show up. There it is. And so this is Abbott and Costello. It's actually pretty funny. So anyways, I just included something fun there. And then day 8, we only have 2 hours to finish up our persuasive speeches, and then you will be completing your first student satisfaction survey before class ends at 10 o'clock, and then we will segue right into medical terminology. And then on day 8, your 2 peer responses to your threaded discussion number 2 is also due, and the access for that is right there, so you can just click there and go ahead and take care of that. So that is the course content portion. All of your classes will be set up this way or very similar to this style. Now, if you come down to resources and you click on resources, there are all of the textbook PowerPoint presentations there for you. If you click in the Webliography, these are different web links that I have found to be very helpful resources. So there's different videos, there's citation examples, there's different web articles, there's an APA sample paper, and then my favorite for APA formatting is OWL Purdue. And if you don't know what APA formatting is, it comes from the American Psychological Association, and there are 2 standard writing formats, and the APA format is for what we call the softer sciences, and that is the formatting that we will be using for any writing that we are doing in our program. All right, so we're going to go back, which sometimes this doesn't like, and there's our exemplaries, all right? So you have those as well. Moving down from resources, we come to tools. There are a bunch of different tools on here. A couple that I want to draw your attention to is the calendar. The calendar will help you track the due dates throughout the course, so I highly suggest taking a peek at that and using it. Contacts for the course, that's a good thing if you want to message each other or email me. This is linked to the discussion board. Over here on the right, your grades. That's a great place to go to check out your grades. I suggest that you check them often. I had an experience where I had a student failing, and I met with the student and I said, "Do you know what your grade is?" And the student replied to me, "I'm afraid to look." All right, don't be the student that's afraid to look at your grades. Be proactive about looking at your grades and asking for help as needed. If you come down to the instructor tab, you will find my email and my work phone. However, if you call my work phone, it gets forwarded right to my cell phone, but you also have my cell phone number as well. So you don't need to worry about using the work phone. You can just go right to my cell phone, text me, email me, call me. But this is what I ask of you. Please use your resources in the Blackboard and each other prior to contacting your instructor. All right, as we get out in the field as surge techs, taking initiative and just knowing the resources that are available to us and using those is going to be very beneficial. So we're going to start doing that in here so that we can be in tune to that when we go out into the field. If you want to read some junk about me, you can. Moving down from that is your PMI mail. I don't know. I don't know that I really need to click on that. Down from that is the library. And the library is a super amazing source that you can use for your threaded discussions. So as Marlene showed us on during orientation, this is the landing page. You can either choose EBSCO or ProQuest, and when you do that, you can type in whatever you're looking for. But there's something else I want to draw your attention to, and it's in these little blue headers. So if you need a tutorial on how to use EBSCO, ProQuest, APA format, or write a bibliography, these are all right here at your fingertips. Also, if you need help getting research information, you can click on Ask a Librarian. Now let's say I want to research something, so I'm going to go to the database of journals. Just chose EBSCO. And I'm going to type in, let's see, what am I researching? Let's see what we get. Medication handling. All right, if I wanted to pair something else with it, maybe I could. Surgery. All right, so the inclusion criteria is going to pull journal articles, if there are any, with keywords that contain both medication and handling. Medication handling and surgery. If you wanted one or the other, you could use the word or in the same line. You could put medication handling or pharmaceuticals or whatever, and it would pull all of those. But here we're kind of limiting it down, so we type those in. Let's see what we get. Search. Okay, and so it showed two results. All right, outbreak of hepatitis C virus, and then this one here. But let's say I only want articles that were from, well, really we only want to use articles that are no less than 5 years old, but this shows to 2015. I'll tell you what, let's go back and let's just try pharmacology. Let's see what we get. I want something with a lot of results. Okay, so here we have over 16,000 results. Well, I only want to look at the last 5 years of journal articles. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this bar until it says 2016. And then when I refresh, now we're down to 4,000 articles that are just between the years of 2016 and 2021. Now let's say I only want full text. Now I have 764. But what other criteria? Let's say I just want academic journals, right? Because those are scholarly and they have the best research. Well, I still have 742. But this is how you can narrow down what you are searching for when you start out with kind of a wide parameter, and then you can kind of cook it down. All right, and then then the next thing to do is, this one's interesting to me. This one about Tibetan medicines and prescriptions. So I'm going to click on that. And here you can access the full text by clicking on PDF. It gives you an abstract or a little summary. And if you use this in your threaded discussion, you're going to have to include a reference as well as an in-text citation. So an easy way to get the reference is by clicking on Cite. All right, so you're going to click on Cite and go to APA 7th edition, and you can just copy this, okay, highlight, copy, and then paste that right in for your reference. All right, so it's super easy. If you want to save it or export it to your computer so you'll have it later, you can do that as well. Permalink, I think it will email you a link to it. I'm not 100% sure, but that's just a quick little overview of how you can use the library. I mean, there's a million different ways you can use it. You can search by journal. If there's some specific journal like the Association of Orthopedic Surgeons or something like that, you can search that way as well. All right, let me see if I can get back to where we were. So that was the library. Okay, and then the last is the help desk. So if you find that you need help getting into Blackboard, PMI email, or Portal, this is the perfect place to go to ask for help. And you can just click on any of these and it'll take you right there, and you can get the resolution to your whatever problem you're having. All right, so I covered a lot of stuff. Please pause, rewind, listen to this as many times as you need to. I hope it was helpful. And again, I am super excited to be in this class with you, and I look forward to accompanying you on your educational journey. Thank you so much for listening. Bye.